Hey everybody, Jada on piano, where we make music make sense. We're back again, another week, another video. You know, we just finished recently, in the last couple of weeks, we finished doing transcription, and a lot of people really enjoyed that. Let me know. This is just me playing. A lot of people really enjoyed that, but that's me playing the piano. Let me know if you can hear the piano, and then if you can hear the microphone. I think you probably can hear the microphone. Somebody let me know in the comments if you can hear. And then I'm going to start the little video here. Last week we did Jacob Collier, and he was talking about harmony. We're going to just kind of take this video, and incidentally, I've not played to this video, but I understand what I think I understand what he's saying. I've watched it a couple of times, and this one is even more powerful than the last one. So here we go. Let me know if you can hear the video. Here we go. Let's play.
Can you give a brief lesson on key changes? Can you change to other key? So what key changes do you prefer? Key changes. Well, if you want a secret weapon, a key to the castle of key changes, do you know what?
This is good, y'all. This is good.
I'd recommend exploring. Let me tell you. I would recommend exploring diminished chords, and I'll give you a quick explanation as to why. Look at this. Okay, so if I change my camera around, this is my piano. This is my hand, and this is C major. So the thing about diminished chords is that so this is a triad. It's a three-part chord, a triad, and a diminished chord is this. And a diminished chord is a chord where all of the notes in the chord are the same distance apart. So minor third, and minor third. And there are actually only 3 diminished chords that exist within the piano, because that's the same as that one. You see, there are only 3.
Before I even let him get going good, if you didn't know, we're going to go deeper than this, but he's given the basics of the whole thing. So he said 3 diminished chords. I want to make sure that you understand exactly what that means. So here it is. If we have a triad, they're all minor thirds. Here to here is a minor third. Here to here is a minor third. Here to here is a minor third. Once you go here, you're back to the C. So that would be the entire chord if we did a diminished chord on the C. Now watch this. That's the one that's a half step up. Minor third, minor third, minor third, minor third. Here's the next one. Minor third to here, minor third, minor third, minor third. Now check this out. Minor third, minor third, minor third, minor third. And notice that these notes are the same notes as this. A lot of you probably already know that. We haven't got deep with it yet, but this is the beginning of where he's going. I want you to stick with me so it'll make sense. We're breaking down what he's talking about, because he starts talking real fast, and then he gets in a way where we gotta slow it down and break it down.
Every diminished chord is I like to think of it as a 4-way crossroads, because the thing about diminished chord is it leads you to loads of different places. And a good way to think about this, actually, if you want to, is if you lower any note in any diminished chord by a half step, or as we say in the UK, a semitone, then it will lead you to a different location, and it's a bit of a sort of shortcut. It's like a life hack. So check this out. This is C diminished. If I put the C down to B, it takes you to E.
Okay. Well, let him finish talking.
If I put the E flat down to a D, it takes you to G. If I put the F sharp down to an F, it takes you to B flat. If I put the A down to an A flat, it takes you to D flat. Now, can you believe that? Can you believe that? I'll show you one more time. C to B goes to E. E flat to D goes to G. F sharp to F goes to B flat. A to A flat goes to D flat. And that is really, really cool.
Okay.
And it means that when you're playing,
check it out.
And you find yourself at a diminished chord,
break that down.
You can go anywhere you want to. Anywhere you want to go, absolutely anywhere. And it's a beautiful thing, because diminished chords are actually kind of fun, and they're in a lot of songs, especially old jazz standards. that I really like to play.
Now, he said they're especially in old jazz standards that he likes to play, but they're also in a whole lot of gospel music. They use the diminished chord a lot. If you hear people like Glenn Gibson or Corey or Mike Burrell does it, but the way that I'm thinking about Alan Murville, all of them, they'll use a chord, and they love those drop 2 diminished chords. So instead of the chord looking like this, they'll do this one, and then you'll see a move like this, right? And then, you know, something like that. They'll fall down from here. Oh, I'm playing it wrong. Right? Something like that is what you would see a lot from Glenn or Corey, especially. But what he said, and let me see which one he played. So he was on this. Let me start from this diminished chord. What he said was, he said a 4-way crossroads. Let's dive into what we have. So he said the rule was, and I'm playing it, you know, you can play it with one hand, but I'm playing it with 2 so I can show you what's moving and what's happening. When we have this diminished chord, if we change this note right here, watch this. He's saying if you take it down a half step, it's going to be a B dominant 7. And you see a B7 right there. And a B7 takes you to E major. Hey, David, you're just in time. I'm just starting to explain what's going on regarding diminished chords, the way Jacob Collier, we've got another video on him this week, how he explains his diminished chords. And so he was saying, so if you're playing, and we're going to try to experiment with this tonight. So I hope you guys are with your keyboard, because we're going to try to take a deep dive into this theoretical concept. So he was like, drop any note of the 4 and it'll take you to another place. So we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about places to be using diminished chords and see where we can go from there. And the context of all of this is changing keys. David says he's from Nigeria. Nice. Thanks for supporting the channel. I know it's probably really late there, so going to make sure and give you a lot of stuff here. So like we said, we dropped the C. We have a whole new chord. It happens to be dominant, and it's the B dominant. Go to E. Let's go back to this chord. Let's this time drop the E flat, because we didn't do that yet, to D. That gives us a D7. Let me go back, because I don't want you to miss any steps. So we were here to this this dominant chord, and we go here, right? That's the E. So diminished, dominant, major. Now, how do we decide what major to go to when we're right here? What is B dominant? The 5 of, we know 5 is a dominant chord of every key that we know of, or the major keys for sure. But look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? B is the 5 of F. Oh goodness, B is the 5 of E. E. So that's the chord we went to, and just so happened the inversion we went to was second. I'm all off in my calculations. This is second inversion. Woo! So now let's go here. Same thing. We drop this note, and drop that note, and we have D7. So since this is D7, we need to know what D is the 5 of. And we know, if you know your keys, you know that D is the 5 of G. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're here. We can go here. Here. There we go. Just like that. That's the 5 of G, and we went to G. So we went to E. We went to G. Now let's do this chord again. Let's go here. And notice this is also a dominant chord, right? Now let's go back. We're on the third one. From here to here. This is an F dominant chord. What is F the 5 of? Well, if you know your keys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. F is the dominant of B flat. So we're going to B flat. So let's look at what we have. Let's go here. Or both, you know. This, that's F dominant to B flat. So we were here, right? And then to the B flat. Now let's go to the last one and start on the diminished chord. And we need to take this here, right? This is an A flat dominant. And the A flat dominant, what is that? The 5 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 5 of D flat. Those are the things that he was saying when he was like, you go from here to the A flat and then to here. That's what he was talking about every time he was saying all of those different things. So the keys that we went to, watch how they form a diminished chord themselves. We went to the key of E. We went to the key of G. We went to the key of B flat. And we went to the key of D flat. All of those were major. So before we even, no, let's do them all. So we were there. So we did all the ones here. Now he did not show the ones here and here, but I'm going to go ahead and mention them now and go through them now, since he didn't do it on the video. So let's do the same thing we did before. Take each one half step down. We get a dominant chord. Where's the dominant the 5 of? And there's only 12 keys. We know that. But this dominant, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C is the 5 of F. So we're going here. This. Or, yeah, 5 of F to F. Here we go. We're back to our diminished. Let's drop it here. E flat. Dominant. What is E flat the 5 of? It happens to be the A flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that? So we need to go to A flat. This to the A flat. Let's go back to our diminished. We're on this one now. We need to drop it here. This is an F sharp or flat dominant, whichever way you call it. This right here. And F sharp dominant needs to go. What is the 5th of? It's the 5th of B. So we need, you see that? We're breaking down exactly what he said. So here we have the 5 of B, and it took us to B. Now, let's go back, the last one. We need to go down a half step. We're here. And what is A? Because look at how that's, in this case, the name of the chord. A is the chord. What's the 5th of? The 5th of D. So we need to go to D. You know, this here. Either one. So that's all of these. All of those that we started with was F, A flat, B. These are the keys that we changed to. And then D. We're going to keep going, and then we're going to get to the place where we start really looking at these in context of a key to go to the key, since he was saying that crosses us from one key to the next. Hold on just a quick second. Let me make sure I'm connected nicely. Okay, I wanted to make sure I kept my internet connection. It's raining here again. You know it likes to rain on Mondays. Okay. All right. So, last one. Okay. Here we go. Last diminished chord. Drop it a half step. Drop the D to the C sharp or D flat, whichever one you want to call it. D flat 7 is what we see. What is D flat the 5 of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see here. Hold on, y'all. I kept getting notifications on my watch and it was buzzing every 3 seconds. So D flat, the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to go from here to here. Right? Or either one. We see that. Now let's go back to our diminished. Then we need to move this one here. Make it our dominant. This is an E dominant 7. And E, what is E the 5 of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. right? E is the dominant. E is the dominant. A is the key. We're going to keep pushing through, but this is the notes for the E dominant, 7. And then let's go back to our diminished chord. Here we are. Let's move this one. This G7. G7, what is G the 5 of? G is the 5 of C. Right? We know this kind of stuff, maybe. So we went to the C. And then the last one, back to our diminished chord. We need this one to go here. This is a B flat 7. What is B flat the 5 of? B flat is the 5 of E flat. There we go. So this to the E flat. Let me go there. See that? So we have all 12 chords going to all 12. No, we have 3 chords going to 4 chords each, which gives us 12 keys total. Now watch this. I did that, but let me go back here. This, it can go to a major key. That was me going to the major key. And I can also go straight to the minor key. When I did this, I can make that a minor key. So, right, it would be the minor chord, or the minor key would be a half step up. Let's see. Let me see if it's true in every instance. It was E. C sharp. I'm trying to think how to tell you where to go for this. Half step up. Okay, so half step up from each note. So this can go here, this can go here, this can go here, and am I right? Yeah, that's it. So half step up, half step up, half step up. That's right. Wait, whoa. Half step up, and then half step up. That's what's right. So we've got this, and it can go also to C sharp, E minor, G minor, and B flat major. So is that all the majors? Let me see something. Yeah, so the way I'm looking at this, okay, the same keys that we can go to major, we can also go to the minor. But the easier way to get to the major key is when he did that drop to the dominant chord. Okay, so that's how we can use it. That's what he was saying when he was using that. We're going to see what else he says really quick, and then we'll get back to putting this in a context in some keys, so we can learn how to use it in music, where to put the diminished chord. I mean, it's nice to know the sound, but you need to know where to use it, and some voicing choices as well.
And so, man, it's really capacious for room, because basically every diminished chord is a dominant chord in disguise. So you can seriously navigate in like exciting, extraordinary ways just by using diminished chords. And actually, you know what else is cool is that every dominant chord, is a diminished chord in disguise. So actually, the insane thing you can do then is every time you play any dominant chord, you can also translate it into a diminished chord, which takes you to a different key. You see? G7 is actually a diminished chord, which is actually this, which is actually that. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually...
Oh, let me let him finish the thought, because this one is where I thought he was talking fast.
Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which then goes to... What's the one I haven't done? C. Yeah. Boom. G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that. Or
really quick, let's get them all.
G7 is actually a diminished chord, which is actually this.
Okay, so let me play it down here so it'll be easier to match tonalities with what he's doing.
G7 is actually a diminished chord, which is actually this, which is actually that.
Okay, so he did. This is the bit diminished he did. And then he went there. And then I think he went to E flat.
Or.
Yep. We could just barely hear the E flat. So he did. We're on G7. We went to F diminished, fully diminished. And then we went to the B flat. So let me see if I can say this without being confusing. Started on a dominant. He turned that dominant into a diminished. How did we turn that dominant into a diminished? Well, first of all, the way that he just did it, and it's only because I know the chord, but this is the dominant chord, right? G7. That's G7 as well. This right here, G7. He added the flat 9. Let me do it. You see that? He added that and took the G out. Watch. See that? Now let me put the G in down here. See how it says flat 9? So he took the dominant chord, and while we're at it, let's be in context. This is the dominant chord for C, which is the one he forgot. It's the last one that he did, but here we go. He did this, took the G chord, made it diminished by adding the flat 9 in this case, right? And then he went and took out the G, because now that we've established that that's the same chord, notice how this is dominant. Notice how the flat 9 is dominant, okay? We've established that. So take the G out. Here it is. Take the G, rootless voicing. And now he's going from this rootless voicing and then going to B flat. And the B flat, like we just said, is the 5 of E flat. Okay? So let's keep going from that standpoint.
G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that.
Now, let me get the next ones.
G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that.
No, I gotta go back further because we gotta start at the beginning.
G7 is actually a diminished chord, which is actually this, which is actually that. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually.
Okay, so we're here. We've established this. This is our bass chord, but we've established that we're making it this, okay? The first time he went here, that was that chord. The second time he went here. This D flat dominant, which you can go there. We've said that before. So he's taking one chord and going to this place. Now, check this out, because as I'm playing this, I think I see exactly where he's going with this whole thing. You guys check in on the chat and let me know if this is making some sense. If I'm going too fast, you just let me know what you're thinking of this so far. So we were here. He made the dominant chord. The D flat is going to go to the G flat, and we went there. Now, since this is our mold, we need to, that's where this would go, and it'll make the C. But if we do the last one and move this F. Hey, showrunner, tell me again who you are. I forgot last week even to remember your name. Tell me if I'm making some sense tonight. Let me know if this makes some sense. We're here. Oh, look at it straight up. This is this. I think that's what he just did. Hold on.
That. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that. Or
oh, that's just going straight there. Okay. We go here. Here. Okay. And
G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which then goes to, what's the one I haven't done?
the regular
C.
one.
Yeah. Boom. Come on. So yeah. And obviously dominant chords are just triads with a dominant thing on it.
Hold on. He's about to say something else. Rob at I Write Films. You studied this video and used it in church. Okay, good. Glad I'm making some sense. So yeah, I'm just trying to break it down from every standpoint, because he said quite a bit here, and without going through, the first time I saw it, I was like, I think people are really underestimating how to change keys or how to use this stuff, because he didn't really talk about that. He talked about what could be done, from a theoretical standpoint, but he didn't actually do it. And we're getting close to, I want to spend the next part of, our time here tonight going through some examples. So let's get that again. So here's what he did. He took this chord. In order to take this full circle, first he started with, the diminished chord, and then, so he gave us the whole blueprint here and went to the dominant, but this time he went from the dominant to the diminished. So he said every diminished is like a dominant and every dominant is like a diminished. Well, believe it or not, check this out. When I go back to this concept really quick here, a B7 flat 9, let me take the B off. See that? So the B is still in there, right? I mean, we can either be diminished or it can be a B diminished. The B dominant with the flat 9. Anytime you have a flat 9 chord, that is using a fully diminished chord fully inside of it. Hey Grace, hope you're enjoying the lesson and learning a lot this evening. So let's take this back. We went forward from the diminished to the dominant to our key. Now he's going from the dominant, turning it into a flat 9, right? And then we're here. So we're at the flat 9. This is really our bass now. This is the bass. We're starting here, right? And then B flat, E flat. We did that, right? Then we went to the D flat to the G flat. D flat would be our dominant. Then we've got, obviously this goes to the C. And then the last one was, we're here going to the E major and then going to E dominant, not E major, and then going to A. See that? So those are those four. Let me see. Grace said hi to Grace. Tawanda, I don't know if I've ever said hi to Tawanda, but hey Tawanda, thanks for joining in. And you're saying he spoke so fast in that video. I'm glad you're breaking it down. Yeah, he talks notoriously fast. I love it. I listen to a lot of people, when you can listen to audiobooks and stuff like that. I'm that person that listens to a lot of that stuff. I'm like, I don't have 6 hours to listen to the whole book, so let me turn it up to 1.25 or 1.5, depending on how fast they talk. Now, if they're super fast talkers, I gotta leave it right at 1. I probably would have to leave Jacob right at 1, but most people speak at a normal, slow pace. I bump them up to 125 or 150 so I can listen to the whole content faster. So, I'm used to listening to people talk really fast. But with that being said, so he's given us everything just with that. That's that one chord. In the same way, let's bump it up and do the same thing. Let's take in the mindset of a flat 9. And it really, in the scheme of things, is probably the same places that we went before, but it's just thinking about it in reverse. So let's look at this in context, because I'm saying this and I'm not using any keys. So first of all, let's establish, where can we use diminished chords? Now, personally, for me, diminished chords are best used. This is an opinion. This is my thought. But I personally like the sound of diminished chords going to minor chords a whole lot better than I like the sound of diminished chords going to major chords. Now, in all of these examples, we went to major chords. Well, no. We went from diminished to dominant to major. But if we were just to go here, I like that less than, hold on, let me move my pedal over. I need to be able to reach my pedal and my microphone. Okay, let's try that again. If I'm here and just straight use the diminished chord, right? And I haven't even talked about using the bass yet. I'm gonna get to that in just a second, but just in the basic using of a diminished chord, or let me use it like that. I like that much better. Let me see. Get this over so you can hear me. I like that much better than this. Now it can work, but I just like this so much better. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about how we can use these diminished chords. If you don't know a place to use a diminished chord, if you just heard what I was saying, I like them better going to minor chords than major chords. So let's look at something. I'm going to start in key of C so we can just get it out of the way. If you know the key of C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. Key of C, where are our minor chords? Our minor chords are on 2. And our minor 2 would be something like, something like that. 3. And then 6. Right? And we can make a little song out of that. Let me do it again. All minor chords, right? Nothing here. Watch hit this. I'm going to do that same one again. Okay, let me add a different one in. Leave that one plain. Oh, sorry. So I really wanted to do something there. Sorry. Right. And then I'm going to add this last one in. Now watch, and then I'll explain it again. Right. Here comes all of them. Sorry. Right. So what I'm getting at here is I went, let me show you exactly what I did. See how that says D flat diminished 7? And I used the half step and I went to my D. Then I used this one, E flat diminished 7, and it went to the E. And then I used the A flat, the diminished 7, and I went to the A. All of them minor chords. I can use them. Now, when we were here, song nice and clean, right? Sorry. Right? Now I'm going to put in my diminished. See what I'm saying? So I just added a chord to transition me to the skeleton form. I only had 3 chords in that little, we're calling it a little song, little whatever, little groove, whatever you want to call it. It literally, in whatever key you're in, is 2, 3, and 6. But the reason it works is because let me go to A flat to show you the same thing. 2, 3, and 6. Watch. 2, 3. That's what we're doing. Here we go. Sorry, I keep wanting to hit something totally different. Here we go. Sorry, I'm losing my mind here. Right. So, same 3 chords. So you can see what I'm saying. And I'm not using overly complicated. This is, if you play the piano at all, you can jump right on that 2, 3, and 6 in any key. Nice simple groove. What I did to groove is begin to add the diminished chord right before the 2, right before the 3, and right before the 6. Hey, Siobhan, thanks for joining in. Let me know if I'm sounding good. I got a showrunner, Rob, told me that it sounded pretty good and made some sense. Let me know if it's making some sense to you. I know, we chat about these things, but let me know if it's making some sense. So my diminished chord going to here, the diminished chord, the way I'm figuring each one of those diminished chords is literally the note that's the half step below it. So 2, 3, 6. So in order for me to play a diminished chord half step below it, I gotta go here, fully diminished. And for me, I like my left hand to have the stretch in it, and then the whole thing here. Rachel Jones, glad to hear it. I hope some of you guys are at your piano and learning something from this. Thanks for joining in, Rachel. That you like that 2, 3, 6? Go ahead, take it and use it. Y'all make some songs out of this. Put a different groove to it, whatever works. So for when I'm using a diminished chord, or this here, since that's using the same form, and stick the next 2 notes in, or I can go here, but I like my form to be down here, that's really catching the major part of it, because what your ear is going to hear is this movement. So now that's a whole separate lesson that I talked about it, I think, in transcription a little bit. Maybe we can dive into it as a thought process, maybe a little bit more. And now that I'm not doing transcription per se, ironically, we transcribed this video, but we're taking a different approach. Anyway, I like this down here. Now, that being said, I can use other notes in that. So watch this. So check that out. You see how instead of me taking the A and the F sharp, which are in the chord, I'm taking the C and the A. I could also take this, and I could also take this. This is probably the one I'm least likely to use, but it's possible. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. See, because this note here, going to here, sounds wild. But this, let's see, also sounds wild. But it could be used. It can be used. Here, we just did this. So that's not bad, That one, not bad. And this is me, just trying different extensions. Maybe that's also something I could be talking about a different day. You guys, let me know if you want to hear that kind of stuff. We can take some deeper dives into some of these things that people are doing. So let me keep going though. Your diminished chord, half step down to your target note. And then we also determine that maybe the next one is not so bad either. Now, half step down. Here's the note. Half step down, right? And that's the one we used, right? And then we went here, because that's our 3 chord in A flat. Then half step down for the 6 chord. Here's our half step down. We need a diminished chord, right? So I'm gonna take, you can either take that, and I guess I could say I could use this one as well, but notice how this is more open and clean, especially in this lower register. This is that A tritone. This has that major 6th interval. This just sounds cleaner to me than this. See, this is cleaner than a little bit darker. So it's up to you. When I got all the way over here, I'm probably going to be using something like this, same major 6th, and then, or take it down here. That's why when it opened up, much farther apart, right? Or, just your inversion up here depends far more on what you want the melody sound like. So watch. Let me do it again because it was doing a thing on me. There it is. And then the last one, you can either go here, but I don't like that one as much as going here. See that? So we've got some options coming right off that chord. So if you're looking for a place to include your diminished chord, it is automatically the half step down on the 2, the 3, and the 6. You can include it in a song. Let me see. Let's go to a song like Anointing. Let me see. We were in the key of C, so let's try that and see. I'm on a major 7 chord here. Right. Really, we want to go here. Right. Now this is the basic. Right. So we're that far into the. Let's try it. We're coming up on a minor chord right here. This. And in this case, I'm hanging. Now I've created another chord here. This is an A flat diminished 7. Here's all of the notes to that. But I'm hanging on to the melody note, right? And I added a major 7 to that. See that? That's that diminished major 7. That's what you're seeing there. See that? I'm just hanging on it so you can see it. That's not really the chord I was focusing on, but because I'm hanging on to this melody note, it's there. So I wanted to show you. So melody, I can come off of it. You see that? I know you guys saw this. So I added what wasn't there. This was the structure: 1, 6, 2, 5, and then I walked down to the 3, 6, 2, 5. Right. So I had 1, 6, 2, 5. Then I had 3, 6, 2, 5. 2 different phrases. Thanks, Siobhan. So here we go. Let me play it in time. Right? So I had to put that in before you get to the next target chord. That's how we're going to use it. That's step 2. Our timing is pretty good tonight. Now, let me take the next one. It's also we said 1, 6, 2, 5. The 2 is our diminished. Oh goodness. 2 is a minor chord. So that's a possible spot. We just did it going to the 6. And we're showing you here. This is how musicality is built. You experiment with this kind of stuff. So let me walk up into it like I want to. Right? So I knew I wanted to do a diminished chord. And oftentimes, I'm going to tell you straight up, I struggle with creating these newfound diminished chord patterns. I've really only got a couple, maybe a drop 2 here or there. And but I know a diminished chord when I hear one, and I always love listening to the pros, how they break down a diminished chord and use them. So in this case, I know what notes I need. I took this out, and so I said, let me walk up to it and then play off of it. Right? So play all that phrase. We did this. Oh, wrong thing. Right? So let me do that again. I kind of like that. Right? So we did all of that that was 3 different ways playing that one chord I can do. Or just hit the chord. Or any of the there's another aspect to playing a diminished chord. But I don't know if I have time to touch that. But so you can see what I'm saying. I'm literally just showing you how to add in the diminished chords. Haven't even got to what Jacob is talking about. I'm going to switch gears here super quick. Now, we did that. we added it to the 2, and then we were on the 5, and then I did a here's my 3. So this is me hitting. Now notice how I jumped up here and did this. So I hit all 5 of these notes in a real closed voicing up here. I'm just giving you all my voicings, you know. This is kind of where I'm starting with it, but I'm really starting to explore more ways to use a diminished chord. So we were here. See that? Now I'm to my 3. So those are all the places we want to use it. Now let's hang right there and do something else with it. But let me show you super quick. I was here. We were on this chord, right? And I walked up into it. It's okay to make little melodies. So, you know, nice little whole step move, half step move, or whole step up, whole step down, whole or half step down, half step up. All these things, you see what I'm saying? All these things are in my key. That was diatonic. This wasn't, and not diatonic. Everything else is. What I'm saying is you can make nice little melodies to connect your things. So we were here. Right? And I got to work on, you see that? I need to work on that crossover. Just getting up there. These are the little pieces. Again, here on this channel, you see me work it up. You see a lot of great people there that can do all this stuff. Their hands work it out. And you don't know how they got there. You don't know what they did. You don't even know how long it took you. You can see right here, right now. I can play the chord, but walking that up. And then, see, I'm here. So the question is, how do I need to quickly get this to get here. See what I'm saying? So that's going to require the work. Now, let's get more in tune. We've got places where we can use the diminished chord. We're in C. Now, he talked about 2 things, and particularly off this G chord. Let's spend the rest of the time actually trying to change the key and experimenting. This is where our experimentation is really going to come from. Okay? So, here was his G dominant. So, let me get to the G chord, one of them. I like that. Need a little less touch. We're here. And then, now we're stopping right here, but then he said, let's make it this. So let me stop there. So, and I'm going to go here. And then, that was me trying to do it. So it was real clunky and clumsy, but let me do that again. We're in C and I'm going to the E flat based on what he just told us. Oh, okay, I can just start in with the melody. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we got to that G and we went to the key of E flat, just like he did. Instead of staying in the song and staying in C, let me go from C this time. Since we have a context, we're in C and we're using the chords he said. So I literally was here and went down like this. I came off my G so I can make this B flat sound like something. And now I had to think in that key real quick. because I'm already on this chord, right? It didn't even sound like a hard jump. That's brilliant. We did it going to E flat. So if we're in the key of C, easily can get to E flat, jumping off that G. I can see 2 levels. Oh my gosh, there's not even enough time. I'm clapping because I can see another level to this. But yeah, let me keep going with this. Siobhan, is this working for you? Is this making some sense? Now that we're putting some keys to this, let's go. The next key he did this one. Let's go to here. Let's see how this is. Sorry for that. I still haven't got my Big Sur fix. Key of G flat. I need to start on the 6. What is the 6 of? Oh. So, wow. Tawanda says she has a question. Hold on. Let me stop you guys real quick. We know that there are 3 diminished chords and each can be considered a flat 9. Of how many dominant chords and which ones? Okay. Siobhan, you think this is a new level? I got another level beyond this. I'm seeing it form as I'm working this. So, it's really going to push us, and I'm probably just going to be able to touch it. But Tawanda asked a very good question. You said we know there's 3 diminished fully, and the 3 you're talking about is the 3 fully diminished chords. These in particular, these 3, and then we start over in some kind of inversion. We know that, and that's what you're talking about. Now, I haven't even really said that, which is exactly what she's mentioning. So let's me just throw this out here for this right off bat. The answer to your question is each of these has. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 8 roots for sure, but quite honestly, you probably can put all 12 notes to it. Well, let's look at it like this. Let's just look at this chord really quickly. It's not giving us a chord there. It's giving us a chord there, which is the flat 9, and that's the question you're asking on. So with chordy, we see 1. Now, this is a part of the other notes that I would say. Since this is in the chord, it can also be a root note of the chord. Let's keep going. Not giving us anything. Here's a flat 9. Okay, so that's 2 flat 9s. Here's a root note that's in the chord. Here's nothing. So I'm okay. So I'm saying possibly 12. I'm positive somebody out here is pulling us. I bet you everything Mike Burrell would find a use for this chord. Everything that I bet you he can find a use for that chord, and he's probably just gonna do something like that, or whatever he does. But that's why I'm saying all 12. But we're up here. Notice, we're 3rd flat. This is a root note in the chord, and it's telling us nothing. This is telling us our the 4th flat 9. This is a root note in the chord. So we have 4 flat 9s and we have 4 root notes. So for sure, 8 notes, Tawanda, can match this 1 diminished chord. It is the same for the other 2 diminished chords. You notice how I just walked up the alphabet with that. So yeah, Shemai knows exactly what I'm talking about. Just even hearing this, I can just hear, he would hit this and be like, I dare y'all to tell me I'm wrong. And then we're going to be like, oh my gosh, what was that? That was so incredible. And then we run to Cordy, and wouldn't you know it, Cordy doesn't even know what he did. But it sounds so perfect in everything he does. He would do that. So I dare not say this is not a chord because he would prove us all wrong immediately. Just watch and see. Listen to him play on any level. And like I said, Siobhan knows exactly what I'm saying because he would pull that stunt. And honestly, I kind of like that. This is here. Yeah. I can't find so much I don't like about that. That one is nice. Anyway, so we've got all of these to answer your question, Tawanda, we've got 4 flat 9 chords. And with those flat 9 chords, we were here just with that. Where was I? I was trying to Oh, we were going to the different keys. I was trying to get to use the D flat. So from anointing and go to G flat. So we're in C, and this will be really interesting. I think I really kind of want to, let's just see, because going from this key to this key, those are relative. C, is a chromatic median, so it's, or a relative minor, depending on how you look at it. C minor is a relative minor of E flat major. That's the way I should be saying that. But you can say, they're close. You can get that twisted up and make it sound right. This is, completely opposing keys. So to go here, let's see. This is one of the things that I struggle with myself on a Sunday morning. And that's, let me say, this is how I use this stuff. I never necessarily did what this particular exercise. But on Sunday mornings, let's say the first song was in B flat, but then the second song is in D flat. So if I'm in B flat, like I said, I'm playing around. So if you notice, when I got to that E flat, that's where I determined the change. So while I'm playing, this is me changing keys. While I'm playing, I'm looking for the common tone or two from that key and see which one I can get to the easiest. And I usually try to do some kind of 2-5-1 walk up, or a 2-5 straight to it, or a 5 immediate landing on the 5 to change to my new key. So that's what I'm looking for. So when I was in B flat, I was like, okay, this is a common tone. These are my 3 common tones. To go from here, the C minor, to C diminished, I didn't like that. Or to switch it to C diminished to get to the D flat, I didn't like that in my mind as much. But going here to this minor chord, just changing this to a minor chord, it's like, oh, I can do that. So I walked it up. And if I went here and then here, because that's about all the time it took me to realize, oh, go to a minor chord. And then once I did this, now I'm halfway in between both of them. Like, this is my portal. This is my door. E flat can be a modal interchange chord added to B flat, or suddenly I'm using it as the 2 into D flat. And people don't know the difference between it when you're just on that chord. So the next chord tells you everything. See that? Here's my D flat chord. It's establishing, and I'm pushing here. Now I've gotten to my 5, and then I make it real strong with its own flat 9, right? Right? See that? Now I'm here. Sorry. I'm all out of whack here. Anyway, you see, so now I'm in D flat. So that same kind of concept I'm trying to use to get this D flat to mesh with this C. That's my approach using that. So I'm kind of using the same kind of ideology, or trying to get the same kind of concept. Oh, I think let's see. Let's try this. That's me using 2 diminished chords just to get there. This one is our normal one. See that? And then I just walked that. So 2 of them. I know you've heard that sound. Walked it there. Let me do this. No, let me get the chord and then change it. Here's my experimentation. Okay, that worked. It took my y'all probably saw it coming like a big flashing sign before I did. Let me get there. I can't seem to roll that like I want to. Same thing. What is it? There we go. Same thing I did before. Oh, I can't even play it. That's that, but instead of doing it, that's what you're really hearing, the melody coming out. Hear that? Here it is again. So if you guys need all types of diminished chord voicings, you know, you can get them from here. Same thing, just played two different ways. The first time I might play it like this, but then the second time, to ramp it up a little bit, second time I want to play it right. Or let me stretch it out. See that? That's a big stretch there, for me included, and you can see that stretching all the way. Got those four. You know, there's a stretch for that. Now, but you see, we changed the key. What did I do here? This is a D flat chord over a G. And we don't often see this, but I've seen Jason St. Clair use it. Yeah, it's about, this is a ninth here, so it looks worse than it is. And this one is just an octave, but you know, it's easier because it's all black notes. So that one I can do pretty well. Going here, it's all white notes, so I can do it. This one is harder because it's a mix of the two, but I can still grab it a little bit. But that's really pushing it. So yeah, I've seen the two of them. I think I've even seen Cornell Gaskin use this chord. I'm not totally sure, but he would use something like this for sure, because he has a lot of extensions that are altered in his playing, and they just sound so good. So we've got that. Now, since this was the chord, right, and then we went to the G flat. So once we got there, we did. Notice I just did this little move because I wanted to set up this note here. And we're already in C, so now I'm on the G, and then I want to get there. Instead of me going, I'm using the D flat in the left hand, but I'm using the minor second and going there. See that? That's what's happening here. Right? So that was the second one. So we did this one and we did this one. Now we got to do this one, because this one here obviously takes us back to C, and we're already in C. So we're looking for the other three right now, like he was giving us. This is it. You guys make sure to check out this video, review it, get those chords in those places. Obviously we're doing a deep dive and there's one key, but you can, you know, refer back to this video and get some of this stuff and look how to use diminished chords. Look how to experiment. We've taken just one song, you know, and go in these places. So here we are going to be going from the exact same place. I definitely want to not leave an uncompleted thought for you guys to refer back to. So here we go, back to C. We're here, and then ooh, that's actually kind of nice. That's calling a sharp 9, but you see how I really need to pull off that. Now notice, if you're doing this, you got to know your keys, right? You got to know all your keys, right? So one more time for A. Right. Cool, yeah. I like that, Rachel, too. In fact, I like going to A little bit better than I liked going to F sharp, but A to C is the same distance from E flat to C. They're both minor thirds. And with that particular move, you can, because they're not as far apart distantly, it didn't sound as awkward just jumping right into it. But that was nice. Let me see. Yeah, that's actually kind of smooth. I like that like that. So we used exactly what he said before. If you noticed, we got here. And I didn't even bother hitting this. I didn't even bother hitting this. I went straight there for a smoother transition. Did you see that? The other ones I started there, and so you got some room to play with that a little bit. Sometimes you might want to go right into it, like I did going to the A. I skipped this note altogether and went straight to it. Or like for the going to the F sharp, I had to really sell that, right, and then go. So there's ways. We got to 3 different keys and still stayed in the same song, went to a crazy different place. We don't just always have to do that half step up, particularly if we're doing like some solo type thing and you just want to play around and mess around in different keys. Yeah, so here's where I was saying a little bit ago, I don't know if Siobhan is still here. I want to throw this out, whet you guys' appetite. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to know more, you can, I think I may have it in a lesson somewhere. I don't know if it's on the channel yet, but I have it somewhere in a lesson. I do it in private lessons and stuff like that. Here's exactly the extra part of where I see this going. 2 ways, but I want to deal with one of them right here. Let me go to the key of F, because we've been dealing with this C chord, or we've been dealing with this chord, right? I don't want to mess up that thought process, but I want to add to it. Requires I go to a different key. Key of F. And if Siobhan's still here, she knows this is a special key right now. But so in key of F, our 2-5-1 looks like this. Right. It's 2-5-1. We did the notes and we did the chords 2-5-1. Here's the deal though. Here's what I'm thinking. In the key of F, there is no G major or G dominant. We have G minor because that's the 2. But here's where this gets really good. Not only did we just do, and you saw we worked all of this out. This went here, this went here, this went here, and this is the normal. We saw all of that. Guess what? Those are dominant chords. It went from the dominant to the diminished, and then the diminished to the new key. Those are all dominant chords. Guess what? This flat 9 is a dominant chord. By right, it's a dominant function, definitely. But what I'm getting at is if we take this note, make a secondary dominant, and a secondary dominant. I know I've talked about secondary dominants on this channel. You would have to search my videos, but this is upgrading that concept. So a secondary dominant is simply taking a chord that is not a dominant chord and using it to transition to another chord. So I'm in the key of F right now because I want to illustrate this on the note G. But I'm getting excited just trying to tell y'all because I'm over my time, but we gotta do it. Can't leave it just hanging. So this secondary dominant means I want to be going to another chord. I can go, usually a secondary dominant leads to the dominant, but you can use a secondary dominant to lead to another place as well. So if I go back to C really quickly, I can use this chord. So we were here. Watch this. If I do this, see, I use this. This is the dominant chord. Instead of going back to 1, I use this dominant chord for Deceptive Cadence to go to my 6th chord, which is A. But and that's a Deceptive Cadence. So I can go to the 1 and I can go to the 6 automatically. But we expect the G chord most often, especially G dominant, to go to either A or C. Well, notice in the key of F, we've got an A minor chord and we've got a C chord. Even though the C chord is dominant, we have those as note possibilities and choices. So instead of just making a 2-5 like this, you know, you've heard things like this. Right? They were walking down. Right? When I walked here, that is me doing a 2 chord, but it is a secondary dominant, right? Because it is a dominant chord and really a dominant, especially if I do that, because it sounds half diminishing, but this is where it's coming from. See how that's a G7, but it's in first inversion here. That's how I'm using it. First inversion. And then I'm going back to my... Chris, you want to check this whole thing out. When I get done here in just a few minutes, you want to go back and check this out. This is breaking down Jacob Collier and him changing keys, and I'm doing my last point. This is the upgraded level, but we've broken it all down. You want to go back and check this out. But thanks for stopping by anyway, because, you know, I know you're one of the regulars. Anyway, that's a secondary dominant in the key of F. And I went here. I went to my dominant, and then I went to my 1, right? Now, I'm using what Jacob Collier just taught us about changing keys on the secondary dominant. So I'm wondering, hey, Thomas, like I was just telling Chris, you want to check out this whole thing. Thanks for coming in, but go back and watch this whole thing. We're breaking down how to change keys, and how to go from key to key, using diminished chords and dominant chords, and how they're interchangeable of each other. So you want to check all this out. We've broken it all down, what he talked about in the video. You'll see, you know, the video if you go back, all that good stuff. So we talked about we're on this G chord, and I want to make it the flat 9. So I'm in F, right? This is normal. Let me do a, and that's a way to use. Hey Thomas. Oh, you said hey y'all. I already answered. I just saw it on there. This itself is a diminished use. See that? And it's a secondary dominant as well. This would be the chord. Right? Just doing that real quick. But it's the outline. Right? Dominant chord went to the D. And then let me go here. This is me using a diminished chord. I'm going to my G. But watch me go here. Do I want to go there like that though? How do I want to do it? What was the other? We're in F. Oh. I was trying to use the same concept to get there, and I totally got spaced out. So let me do my 7-3-6. Yeah, if I do some movement after it. keep that melody moving. Right. So I made it to E flat. Let me see if I can make it to the F sharp. We're in F. Same place. I'm gonna start. And then here. No, I wanna. Oh, I want this one. I was trying to see. You see the experimentation here. This is me experimenting with this concept that he was using to change keys. So let me do that again. And then I want to use this. I got there. I had to keep playing, but so let's do that one more time for that, because that's a tough one. Here. So I want to use that B to my advantage. See how I did that? Because B is in this key. I was fighting for some, something that'll connect me. I'm playing this. That drives me there. Sorry. Okay, that got us there. We went from G to G flat. We went from G to E flat. And remember, we started from the key of F. That's where all of this is happening from. We're here. And we need the last one. We need the key of A. Okay. So this one's going to be interesting because I need to go to A major this time. Okay, so if I treat this as a suspension, so I've got something now. You see that? That was me experimenting. This will be the last one because we can use it to get to C as well. 736. So we got that. You see that? We went and we got to those three keys. Let me just go to C again so you can see what that would look like. Sorry. I was trying to get this here. And then I'm still in F the way that I'm doing this. Let me do that again. I need to make a clear break. I kind of had to reset it twice to feel like it was more in C. But as you can see, I'm literally not doing anything more than experimenting with the concept. That was a 3-minute and 20-second video. All I'm doing is experimenting with the concepts that he gave us in the video And while we broke everything down at the beginning, we dealt with some songs in one key, going from C to some other places. And then we've heightened the whole idea using them as secondary dominants. Spoiler alert, F isn't the only key that I can use those chords. So B flat also has a G chord. There it is. So the same thing I just did in F, I can do in E flat with 4 more moves to those same places. So this is why if people don't, and I'll probably talk about that a different time, but knowing your keys is very important. If you don't know all your keys, you won't see all of these connections. And one move, notice, I literally was on the G when I started in C. I did 4 moves. He showed us 4 moves. Did them in C, went to 4 other places. If you don't even change, if you transpose, you're not even going to anywhere else but the key that you're in. So you're missing that opportunity. But not only did I do that from C, I took the concepts that I learned from C using that dominant chord and went to F. Then I went to 4 places from F because I had all 4 available. And then I took that same thing and I was just telling you, you can do it in B flat. Y'all work on that in B flat in the same way I just did with the F. That's those same 4 places from B flat. So you're going to get sounds from each and every one. But if you're not catching it, spoiler alert, you can go from one key to another key from multiple different spots. This G will get you to this G dominant in particular, especially with the flat 9, will always be a portal to the keys of C, E flat, G flat, and A. And especially if you're not in those keys. Especially. Now, we were in the key of C when we started, but the Jacob Collier video is called Jacob Collier Teaches How to Change Keys. The reason we broke it down, though, Thomas, is because he talks really fast. So, I showed the video just like I did here. Listen just to this section here. You'll see what I'm saying.
So translate it into a diminished chord, which takes you to a different key. You see? G7 is actually a diminished chord, which is actually this, which is actually that. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which is actually that. Or G7 is a diminished chord, which is actually that, which then goes to, what's the one I haven't done? C. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
Come
so
on.
You see that?
So yeah. And
he talks really fast and he's saying it's actually this, it's actually that, and it goes to there. Well, he's saying it, but we're talking about what the this is actually this leads to that is, and particularly on that G chord. It was expounding his thought to, English level for most of us to be able to come from that. So anyway, that's what we dealt with this video. We went extra long today, but we had a lot to go through, discuss, and cover. Rewind this video, go back through it. There's a lot of nuggets in here, especially if you're looking for the breakdown. Definitely check his video out. But if it's confusing, come on back here and listen to the breakdown and see these chords that we used here. So you guys have a great week and take care, and I will talk to you later.